is video number 36 for Bay students, and in this video we are going to be doing our bow hold on the actual bow. Now, in the previous video you learned all about the bow. You learned the parts of the bow, you learned about tightening and loosening the bow and not to touch the horsehair. So remember all of those things. Go ahead and take your bow out of your case. All you need for this video is your bow. So when you take your bow out, hopefully you had remembered to loosen it. Remember, we want it good loose and not too loose. This is when we're not using it. So when you take it out of your case, this is how it should be. The screw turns easily and the hairs are not flopping down. This is too loose right here, okay? Too loose, it can get caught on things and, you know, break off the hairs and things like that, okay? Or you also run the risk of eventually the screw will come out and then you got a problem, okay? So every time when you put it in your case, we want good loose. So what I want you to do now is go ahead and tighten your bow. If you remember how many turns it was from last time, great. Somewhere it's probably going to be between 5 and 10, unless you do tiny little turns, and it might be like 20. But for this bow, and remember, righty-tighty. So watch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is, I think 8 for this bow. Kind of 7.5, honestly. So what we want is that the screw feels tighter here and that we have space between the stick and the hair, all right? Now, although tightening the bow right now is honestly not necessary until we actually are playing, I need you to get in the habit of every time you take your bow out, you tighten it. Every time you put it away, you loosen it. So we're practicing the tightening and the loosening, okay? So we've got about a Sharpie marker width in between there, something like that. Okay, again, it depends a little bit on your bow. And look what we have here. We have the adjusting screw, we have the frog. I want you to pay attention to that little dot there. And you have, then the shiny part there, the ferrule. Now, if you want to look at some pictures in your book, page 16 has pictures. Now, you're going to notice it shows you both the French and the German bow. We are using the French bow. If you are taking private lessons and your teacher has had you switch to a German bow, that is fine. That's what you should practice with, but make sure that you're doing everything that that teacher has asked you to do. So I want you to look, if you open up to page 16, it shows you the two different bow holds. We are going to be doing the French bow, okay? Now, here's the part I want you to notice. See that little dot right there? Okay, that's about where I want your thumb to go. Again, slightly different for every hand. Inside fingers, inside lines touch the stick. Outside fingers, outside lines. All right? Now, this is where things get a little bit different for different hands. Do we cover up this little dot? Do we put it on this side? Do we put it on this side? Is it way over? Some of you have longer fingers. They might hang over more. Some of you have shorter fingers. With that said, no one should be like this. Okay, your fingers should be curving over the bow, inside fingers, inside lines, and they should lay flat against the stick. So it creates kind of a shelf. These fingers create kind of a shelf for your bow to rest on, okay? First finger is gonna guide it. And I'm holding it like this because this is how you will be playing. Your arm is straight, of course. I just want to be close to the camera. See that? How they're flat against the frog. Don't have them out like this, okay? Now, I want to do some of the bow exercises. You might find this easier, actually, than with the stick. Just go up and down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and sideways. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, check yourself. Make sure these are flat against the frog. And they're creating a shelf. For me, my second finger comes all the way down and touches that shiny part, the ferrule. That's where my second finger lands. Yours might not be that long. You might only be up there. But again, inside fingers are touching the stick right there. Outside fingers are touching the stick on the outside lines. So whatever that means for you, okay? And your fingers are flat. Try those again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to turn this sideways. So I want you to notice I do have a curve in my finger. For some reason, the camera does not show that. I don't know why. but fingers are flat against, okay? Do 2 more sets of those. I want 4 sets of those each day. Up and down, sideways, 5 each. Now, for the finger tapping, just tap first finger up and down. Don't worry too much about pinky. Just tap first finger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, stop and fix. Check yourself. And guys, when you're doing these bow exercises, don't hold this the whole time or you're not going to have that strength that you need, okay? Don't hold it with your left hand. Your left hand should not be involved. If you're not ready for this and you need your hand, you need to go back to the stick and hold it in the middle, okay? Tap first finger again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Stop and check and fix. Check that thumb. Make sure it hasn't gone through. We don't want the thumb to fall through like that. Thumb's got to be. Remember where that in your book, the little dot, that's where thumb's going to be. Okay, another set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Again, showing you that my finger does have a curve to it. It looks completely straight from the front. Okay, now, windshield wipers. Shake out your hand. Again, each exercise, 4 sets of 10 for each exercise. So, fingers flat, and go over. 1, check and make sure you're touching the right place, and come back. 2, 3, stop and fix. 4. If you realize after 4 that your hand has messed up, stop. Don't do it wrong. Don't finish it up like this. If your hand has collapsed down, don't continue to do the exercise. Stop yourself on 4. Fix it, and then continue. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And guys, it's very likely that you're going to collapse. You might even collapse on the very first one. That is not unusual. Remember, you have to build the strength. You have to give yourself time to build the strength. Don't expect to do what I'm doing the very first day. I've been doing this longer than you've been alive. This is my 21st year to teach. I've been doing this longer than you've been alive. Don't expect that for yourself. But that's what we're going for. When you can do these without it slipping, and you can do 10 of these, and when you finish, it's still just as you started with, then when that happens, then we will be ready to actually bow on the string. It's not going to happen overnight, and you do need to do these exercises every single day. Just like with any exercise, you can't expect to run once a week and then do a marathon in 2 weeks. It's not going to happen, okay? You've got to do these things every single day. Build up your strength, build up your endurance, all of those things so that we're ready for the next thing. And I know you're probably getting excited about bowing. It's very cool when we bow, but only when we get all this right, okay? Practice, practice, practice.